Welcome to the Mid-Lunch Crisis. I'm Fear the Reaper.
I'm Big Poppa T-Mo.
And today, a little bit later on, we're going to have a special guest joining us. We're going to do a little bit of an interview with Ballisticola.
Sweet.
In the meantime, I'm going to dazzle you with my amazing building skills here. This is kind of a super secret project. That I haven't...
Super secret project, you say?
Yeah, super secret project. That I haven't been working on.
I love how you keep it secret by not working on it.
Yeah. Yeah, if you don't work on it, then nobody knows about it, right?
Yeah, very true. Very true.
So here's my question. If I build below the water on my platform, will it keep the water out?
I don't know. Might have to try that out.
That's
I've
what
always
I'm
been a
wondering.
little curious about that. If you built certain buildings underneath water, if they would just auto-eject the water for you?
Yeah, that's what I'm kind of hoping. So we're going to build a little room here and test that theory. Come on. Actually, before I do that, I wonder if I can put in a door, a watertight door, in a concrete wall.
I'm pretty sure all of the hollow doors are considered watertight.
Something just hit me.
The squid creatures.
Oh, the squid creatures are...
They have impact.
Are they aggressive?
No, but if you
Okay.
bump into them, they die.
Oh, okay. So now, what did you say about the watertight door?
I'm pretty sure that all of the hollow doors, the holographic doors, are watertight.
Okay.
'Cause I've seen people use them on other builds.
Oh, I need crystal sulfide for that.
Now, Big Poppa T-Mo is very guilty of not building underwater. Which, probably should at some point in time, because it is a decent aspect of the game. I think growing up as a child of the 70s and 80s and being exposed to the movie Jaws at an early age kind of ruined me from certain aqua functions, I guess one would say.
I gotcha.
So games like Subnautica and the like are a little bit terrifying for me. I still every time I go into a swimming pool or even a bathtub, I look for sharks first, because you never know. Probably not the most reasonable of fears in the world, but
Although it may not be the most reasonable, I would have to say that I'm going to guess you're not alone.
now I know I'm not alone, because just about every member of my family checks the swimming pool for sharks before we go in. I know
Okay.
my 8-year-old son would definitely understand.
Yeah. So, here is my hypothesis, or my results, I should say. I'm swimming inside.
Ooh.
So that particular door does not work. I apologize for the camera angle here, guys, but it's being that close to a structure, it keeps putting me into first person mode. So we're going to delete this door. We're going to put in a
Right,
wall.
specific watertight door.
Yeah, we're going to put in a wall. And then try a watertight door. But for that, I'm going to have to go grab some crystal sulfide.
Now, where would one find crystal sulfide?
On the bottom of the ocean, or lake, or whatever body of water you are in. First, I'm going to recharge my oxygen my supplemental oxygen here.
You don't drown. Drowning sucks.
Yeah.
Now again, we have to ask everybody's forgiveness. Western Pennsylvania weather has shifted yet again, and it's back to being 60 some odd degrees
Yeah.
outside for Big Poppa T-Mo. So my sinuses have still not recovered, and I'm kind of suffering from a pretty nasty cold at the moment. So if I sound a bit off, I do apologize, and we are going to try our best not to cough, sniffle, or clear our throats on stream too much, but unfortunately it does happen sometimes.
So that right there is crystal sulfide.
Excellent.
Luckily, I didn't have to swim too far to get it. One thing you have to watch out for about the crystal sulfide is that is a hot vent. So as soon as you get near it, it's gonna blow.
Now there's also more than one crystal sulfide attached to each hot vent.
There's usually 3.
You may want to take your time and get all of them. Let the vent blow once, and then grab the other 2.
Or if you're adventurous, you can grab all 3 like I did.
That too. I think we've already established that with my fear of sharks in a bathtub, I might not be the most adventurous person in the world.
Yes.
Tend to err on the side of caution. Sometimes.
Alright, let's try this watertight door here.
There's Dora just chilling out underwater.
Where did I put the door? Oh, there. Not where I wanted it to go, but... Come on. Swim in the direction I want you to go. Okay. I'm still underwater. So that does in fact not work. Again, I apologize for the camera, guys. Get out of here. Now I'm stuck. Alright. So that in fact does not work the way I hoped it would. And yes, as you guys can see, that is Dora the Explorer chilling underwater.
So what you were trying to do there was just build with standard pieces, put in a watertight door, and then hopefully it would have kicked the water out of the room?
Yes.
How
And
about if you started with a underwater room and built off of that and then maybe deleted the underwater room?
Okay. I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Because there are specific rooms for underwater building.
Yes. build camera. Okay, it is not gonna snap.
Might have figured out why Big Poppa T-Mo doesn't build underwater, guys.
Yeah, it does require a little,
It seems complicated.
yeah. Well, okay, to be honest, I don't need a watertight room under the floor. It would have just been easier to build that way. But I don't actually need it. Give you guys a sneak peek at my super secret plans here. Let's see where it's at. Ooh, I need to make some metal plating. And now I need antimatter, but that's okay. So there you go, guys. Now you have a pretty good idea of what's going to happen here.
Oh, we have some bite beats technology going on.
Oh yeah.
This was actually how Reaper and I first met. He was working on some bite beat stuff and invited me to come take a look and brought me to this location. Or was it this location or the other one?
No, that was Londinium.
Oh, that was Londinium. Yeah, the dance party on Londinium.
Yeah.
And the truly ironic thing was when I got there, it wasn't showing for me. I mean, it showed the bite beats working, but when he tried to alter the sound design and everything, it was not working for Big Poppa T-Mo. I wasn't disappointed in his work. I was disappointed in the bite beats because it looked pretty cool.
So I can actually, if I throw up a little generator here, I have to remember where my hotspot is. What happened to my survey device?
What happened to your survey device?
Oh, I know what happened to my survey device. Wrong multi-tool.
Oops.
Yep.
One of the many downsides of having multiple multi-tools. I still have not fully embraced the 3 multi-tool ability.
I have.
Tend to just max them out at 24 slaughters.
I have not. I have 2 multi-tools, but I have not taken full advantage. Okay, we have a C-class hotspot there. So all I'm doing here, guys, is building a little platform to put my electromagnetic generators on.
There's them squiddies again.
Yep. Need some more metal plating. I need to go get some air.
Whatever you do, Reaper, don't drown.
Don't drown. Don't become fish food. So let me recharge my supplemental oxygen here. I lost my generator. Oh yeah, right there. Okay, so how are we doing? Let's see. 122, 121, 121, 122. $125, $127. So, ran into another jellyfish.
Yeah, they get a little pesky like that at times.
Alright. Mary Lizzie, what is up?
Holla.
Welcome to the mid-lunch crisis. All right.
And so what are you going to work on now?
I'm actually going to put in a battery for power monitoring.
Battery 4?
For power monitoring.
Uh-huh.
Gotta hold the button. Where did they go, George? Where did they go? There we go. Okay, so we are currently generating 741 kp. Which is awesome.
How much is your system using?
Well, currently we're not using anything because I don't have anything hooked up. So what I'm going to need to do is figure out how I want to wire this. Just for fun here, we're gonna hook this up as soon as I can find my little battery there. There we go. Interesting. Fun little fact here, kids. I actually can't set up that particular aspect of the show here because I don't have game audio.
Oh. Yeah, we're doing a little bit different on our audio configuration today because of the second half of the show's plan. So it's a little it's actually a little disconcerting changing up how you do a stream, especially with new technology. Reaper has gotten all of his streaming stuff in line, and it looks like everything's working, but we don't hear the normal stuff, so neither one of us actually can hear game audio right now. And we just hear each other, and we also don't hear each other muted because we're speaking to each other through the Discord server today. So it's kind of funny because I'll hear him cough and sniffle and sneeze, and I'm like, dude, you should have muted your mic, when he actually has. But But I don't hear it that way because of the way we've got our audio configuration right now. But yeah, working on byte beats when you can't hear game sound, very avant-garde. He's just going to hope that it came out sounding good.
Yeah. Not that, there we go. Not that I have any doubts in the auto-generated byte beat sounds, but so as you guys can see, this is kind of my my idea here. Now,
Mary Lizzie, are you suggesting we should let somebody else torture us in that way?
yeah. Is that you volunteering?
Ooh.
Because if you're volunteering to torture us,
Step on line. A whole bunch of people waiting to do that.
yeah.
Do have 6 children. They love torturing me.
So real quick, if we want to know how to operate these light panels, there's a couple different ways you can do it. If you just want them to light up, you can wire them directly to your power source. Let me grab the build camera here, because that's going to annoy the crap out of me.
That's called an exasperated sigh.
Yeah. So if we were going to wire one of these panels, if you look at them with when you're in wire mode here, you can wire them directly to power. Now that panel is lit. That panel is right there. I know it's kind of hard to see on the red. But now, if you want to control it, say with the byte beats, then you can use a switch. Use a byte beat switch. We'll do it over here so it's a little more convenient. So if we put this switch down, now you see this switch doesn't actually, it has the two different inputs. You have one for power, you also have one for music. So you have power in, music in, you'll have power out. So what that does, if you look at your byte beats device, it also has the same thing. My build camera is giving me issues. But we're going to take this first one and we're going to connect the music out, the music in of the switch. Then we're going to grab some power from our connection here. And now we can connect it to one of these lit panels. I'll grab a white one this time. And connect that to the power out. Now you have exit out of build camera. Now the last thing you have to do is configure that switch and tell it when to turn on. Come on, get on the platform. There you go. So see all these dots that are lit up are when this machine has, or when this switch has power. So if we just want to do a basic flash pattern, we can go on beat. You see, if we hit 1, it's going to turn on every first beat. So if we go and look at that, see, every first beat that panel lights up. What is Mary saying here? Like
She
Husby?
almost joined the Discord.
I'm sorry?
I said she almost joined the Discord voice, but it was on her phone and not her PC, so it would be hard to cover when she sniffled.
Oh,
And her husband likes to always say, "Why would you torture me? I could just go to work for that."
I see. So with that being said, that's just a basic flash pattern there, just on the beat, but you can make these panels do all sorts of stuff. The only problem I found, and it's not really a problem, it just complicates things. If you want panels to do more than one thing, then you need a switch for every panel. Now I can take that output here and I can connect it to multiple panels and they will all flash at the same time. See if I want to get away from the floor here so I can see. So that one is connected somewhere over there. Yep. See, now I have a red one and a white one flashing. I can grab another one. And I can connect as many as I want to that. And they'll all flash at the same time. But if you want them to flash at different times, then you'll need separate switches for everyone. Mary is volunteering. So, yeah, Mary is volunteering to come torture us.
Yay! Mary tortures.
So this is going to be a long, complicated build. One that I'm going to have to do when I have audio.
Yeah, I would imagine that would make it very, very difficult to do an audio device build where you can't hear it.
Wasn't there a famous composer that was deaf?
Several. A lot of them also went deaf as they continued composing.
Let's see. Mary, before you jump into that voice chat, give us a heads up so we can bring you in whenever we're ready. We're going to have Ballisticola on here in just under half an hour.
That's, of course, assuming everything goes as planned.
Yeah, yeah.
And we all know how often that happens with us. We're hoping for the best.
You know what they say, hope for the best, prepare for the worst.
They say
However,
a lot of things, though.
however, that being said, we are hoping for the best. We did not prepare for the worst.
Well, we could always just do Bite Beats Dance Party while not being able to hear anything.
Yeah, we could do that.
That's always a possibility, too.
Yeah, we're. It's in the title there, Mary. Just saying.
You expect any of us to read? For the love of Pete, it's 11:30 in the morning and I'm still working on my first cup of space coffee.
Oh.
How dare you expect me to read?
So, yesterday morning, there was an international crisis at the T-Mo household.
There were several, actually.
Well, there were several.
I wouldn't call them international, but definitely crises. So yesterday started off for Big Poppa T-Mo with a phone call from his wife, Big Mama T-Mo, telling me that she was sitting at the drive-thru of the local bank and the engine of the truck was smoking, and that the brake pedal had gone all the way to the floor. Now, this is not a nice way to wake up, but of course the first thing that pops into my head, oh, at least she's just sitting at the drive-thru at the bank and not driving. She didn't call to tell me that she had wrecked into somebody or was hurt, so I was thankful for that. But then I struggle to get up and mentally help my wife figure these things out. Gotta arrange for a tow truck, gotta, get her home safely and everything else like that. So I go downstairs to get my morning coffee. And lo and behold, the second crisis of the day takes shape. There is no coffee in Big Poppa T-Mo's house. Not only is there no coffee that has been made, there's as in no pot of coffee having been made, there's no coffee with which to make another pot. So, Big Poppa T-Mo had to start the day yesterday with a cup of tea. Now, I like tea, don't get me wrong, I prefer Earl Grey. With a bit of honey, that's a good tea right there, but it is not the way for me to start my day. And that's how I had to do it yesterday. So, yesterday was a little rough. Just a little rough. And Big Poppa T-Mo is still paying for it today.
See, I was referring to the coffee being an international.
Yeah, but it all started with the truck.
Yeah.
So now, as some of you all know, if you know anything about me, I have had the worst luck with motor vehicles over the last 3 years. That the current truck that I'm driving, Wendigo, is my second 99 Dodge Dakota in 2 years. I've had 2 Ford Explorers in the last 3 years. And my wife's Buick Rendezvous met an untimely death within the last 5 years. So, this is also not the first brake trouble that I was having. The western Pennsylvania winters are not nice on car parts, particularly anything made of steel. And these brake lines are the old factory steel ones. So it was time for them to be replaced anyways, but I was hoping to get one more winter out of this truck before it tried to eat itself. No such luck.
So yesterday was not just car trouble in the T-Mo household. It's also car trouble in the Reaper household. Because my wife, who I love very much, let me start by saying that. When I get up yesterday morning, she says, "Can you check out my car? It's making noises." Okay. So I go outside and I check And I recently fixed the power steering. So I checked power steering fluid level, and it's got power steering fluid in it. So I started up, and the power steering pump is grinding something awful. So I go to the back of the car where the power steering fluid was supposed to be, and I didn't find power steering fluid. However, I did find transmission fluid that my wife mistakenly put in the power steering pump. So her car currently has no power steering. And Mary says, geez, you guys do everything together. Apparently so. Did we lose Big Poppa T-Mo?
Big Poppa T-Mo had muted himself for a coughing fit and forgot to unmute himself. Apologies.
We do that all the time.
Yes. Well, it's better to mute ourselves and forget that we're muted than not mute ourselves and cough in our listeners' viewers' ears. Or at least that's my take on it for today.
So we've been guilty of doing that. On the last couple of streams that we've done, one of us will take a break to go and do something or other, and the other one will take over and be talking throughout the whole break and interacting, keeping the stream going, only to find out that when the other one comes back, there's no sound, and we've been muted the entire time.
So if you guys ever hear a solid minute or two of silence while we're streaming, please let us know in chat, because that probably means one of us is muted.
Yeah.
Or even both of us are muted. That's a possibility as well.
Especially with my current setup, because I have two microphones. So T-Mo hears me through one microphone and you hear me through the other. So sometimes I'll forget to make sure they're both turned back on. It'd be nice to know what that sounds like.
I mean, I could always take my headset off and turn on the game sound.
No, that's okay. Mary said...
the microphone for you.
Yeah. Mary says, oops, this is why my dad insisted I take an automotive class in high school, and he taught me a lot growing up. Matter of fact, I was the only one in my 30-student automotive class who knew where the transmission fluid went. I was also the only girl. Nice.
The transmission fluid definitely does not go in the power steering.
Yeah. So, Big Poppa T-Mo.
Yes.
I'm going to ask that you possibly pop into Ballisticola stream and verify that in 15 minutes he'll be ready to go in Discord voice chat.
Sounds like a good plan.
In the meantime, I'm going to wow you with my amazing dance skills, of which I have none of the dance emotes. That's my favorite emote right there. The thank you. What's up, North Ghost? Hi, guys. Gotta go to work now. Bye, guys. Well, thanks for stopping by, buddy.
Sounds like Northgust just gave us a quick in and out.
Yeah. We got the North Coast drive-by. Do my best Fonzie. Hey.
Ballisticola is eating all of our cookies.
Oh no.
He's eating all of our cookies live on stream. He's not even playing No Man's Sky while he does it. He's paused the game just to eat our cookies.
Oh no. Not the cookies.
Anything but the cookies.
Ballista, how could you? Mary says, when Husbeast and her worked at the same company, the minivan they had at the time got a flat. They had to pull over on a busy road. Changing a tire in a fancy work skirt / dress is not easy. Plus Husbeast. I want people to see, if people see his wife changing the tire and him standing there, small town busy road, you do the math. So I had to walk him through changing his first flat tire. Oh yeah, Husbeast didn't want people to see his wife changing the tire.
Alright, Big Poppa T-Mo's having some serious YouTube issues at the moment, but Ballisticola looks like he is, other than eating all of our cookies, prepping to come over.
Alright.
So we should be good to go. Alright, I think I'm actually going to have to close down all of my YouTubes real quick. The PC is being a butt,
The YouTubes.
so I have no monitoring abilities. I leave you in the capable hands of Mary. They're trying to load stuff back up.
Alright. We can still hear you.
Well, I kind of figured. I was actually trying to figure out again why I could still hear you while I had no YouTubes up, but then I remember. we have the weird audio thing going on.
And Mary says, capable hands. Have you seen my hands lately?
If you can change a tire in a skirt while showing your husband how to do it for the first time, yeah, I think you've got perfectly capable.
Yeah, I tend to agree.
Alright, what is going on here, YouTube? Really, YouTube? Come on. Oh, I definitely need to mute that again. Go.
That was like 15 years ago, before the arthritis got bad. It's like a bad action movie. The bridge is disappearing as I run. No, is he gonna make it? Yep, he made it. Almost enough jetpack to make it. Not quite.
Missed it by that much.
So I actually don't have a clear plan for this particular build, other than getting the bite beats set up. Now the bite beats have a range that a range that you can hear them. So if you guys don't notice, as I get farther away, you start to not be able to hear the bite beats. But there is a solution for that. What's up, money boy? How you doing, buddy? So one of the cool things about bite beats is if I go in here and I go to over here, I can copy this musical sequence and then I can paste it into another bite beats device. So if I go here, Oh, these ones aren't powered, I guess. If I give them power... So now I can go into this one, and I can actually make it sound just like the first one. And so forth and so on. So what I plan on doing is actually setting up another additional banks of bite beat devices. So I'll put one over here. Possibly one across the back, just so everywhere on the dance floor you have sound.
Alright, I'm going to jump into the green room for a minute.
All right. Now that he's gone, we can talk about him. I always say that, but then we never do. I assume he's prepping Ballisticola for arrival here. So in case you're just tuning in, our next segment here in just a few minutes, we are going to be interviewing Ballisticola. Ballisticola is another No Man's Sky creator, very prolific builder. So we're going to pick his brain on all things No Man's Sky, and maybe some things not. So while we're doing the interview, there won't be I won't be doing much on screen. I'll try and keep it so it's not, completely still, but we're going to be focusing on Ballisticola for the second hour of the show. There's something for you, money boy. Just in case you hadn't seen, there's my ship parked underwater.
Alright, Reaper. You there, buddy?
I am here.
I got a cola at the ready whenever you are.
Alright, are you guys ready for some cola action?
Go ahead and bring him on in. Here we go.
I said bring him in.
There we go. We got Ballisticola in the chat with us now.
What's up, buddy? What's up?
I'm doing good. I'm wasting my time in space stations trying to make money out of nothing. That's what I've been doing all day.
I was going to ask you. I was going to ask you what you had going on there.
I don't think it might be possible now, but it's a bit too late.
Now,
I'll carry on. Sorry.
oh, I was just gonna ask, what was the difference between what you're doing today and what you were doing yesterday?
Oh, yesterday the difference was I had loads of money. You could scrap a ship and then just, I'd have loads. I'd have about, well, I must have got 30 augmentations yesterday, so it was a bit easier to make money upgrading ships. But today I challenged myself not to have any money. The only money I've got is by breaking down modules and then selling the scrap. That's how I get my money. So at the moment I've got from 11 modules I've got 332,000 and a load of like cadmium and chromatic metal, which I'm going to make into antimatter or something. I don't know. It's a stupid.
Yeah. So how long did it take you to make a little bit of money there?
Well, I came in yesterday. I had 41 million. And I just started breaking down some ships. Well, I don't know. I've not made any nanites out of it. I just broke down every. When you go into a ship, what do you have? You have your your launch thrusters and stuff like that. I break that down. You get some. What is it? What do I get out of it? Wiring loom. You can just break down all the stuff in the ship, get the wiring loom, sell all that. That's basically how you make your money on this. I don't, and any modules I get, I just put them in the ship and break those down. That's how you make. You don't make any nanites, but you can just. That's how you do it. And after you get all these augmentations, and then you start getting, I've been trying to work out that's what I'm supposed to do today. Whatever the ship slot is, they go up in like 5. So if you get like a 20 slot ship and then you add 5 augmentations, that is the point where the money starts getting like massive. So that's what I've been doing. I want to find that point where it goes from 25 and then it goes up to like 20 million and then it goes to 30 slots and it goes up to like 50 or something.
Oh, I got you.
But I haven't actually wrote it down yet, and it's a bit glitchy because you can end up like you can spend an augmentation and it won't give you the price, but when you go back into the what's the computer called? I call it the scrapper now. When you go back into it, it realizes that suddenly this ship's worth more than it's showing you.
Oh.
So basically just buy an A-classes and scrapping them, get the augmentations out of them, and just apply them to all the other ships. That's what I've been doing.
All right.
But I've only done that once. That's only yesterday. I haven't tried it any other time. It's because of the rules in the other game that I can't do any of that.
Ah.
Oh, so this was the no rules permadeath one we were talking about.
Yeah, this is the no rules one. I can't. I haven't done the other one because all I'm going to be doing is flying about, digging up modules all day, and I can't be. Even I can't be like doing that all day. I'll sit in my base making chlorine all day, but I'm not going to fly around the planet digging stuff up. It's a little bit ironic, but you get a bit tired of it in the end.
Yeah. That's one of the things I like about No Man's Sky is although the grind is really long to do things like that, there's always something else to go do first.
Well, it depends. It does depend. If you don't like the grind, then it's not gonna be. You're not gonna have a very good time, are you?
No, because this game is all about the grind.
If I'm waiting for a ship, which I have been I've stopped doing it now. But that ship I was waiting for with the hyperdrive was like, I don't even know how many weeks that was now. But I'm waiting for that. I waited for the first one, thought I found the max hyperdrive, went absolutely mental on stream, thinking I'd found the best ship I could, and then I found out a couple of days later, actually, you've not got the best ship. You have to wait for another one. So
that's brutal.
But I'm sure everyone's done that at some point.
Yeah,
quite often.
Yeah.
Sure, I'm sure when I remember when Sem and Sword used to stream, and I don't know which way around it was. I think it was Sem was looking for this hauler, this particular hauler, and it took him like days or something. And Sword went straight in and found it in 45 minutes. And you got this like atmosphere on stream or of him like, I've waited days for this ship, and you've just found it instantly. It happens.
Oh yeah, yeah, it definitely happens.
If you wait long enough, it'll happen anyway.
So, our adoring fans want to know, when did you start playing No Man's Sky?
Well, I started playing it when, well, before I was in this community, I was in the Metal Gear Solid one, so I was pretty much like concentrating on that at the time. I can't remember. I don't remember actually. I can't remember it being No Man's Sky being revealed. I don't remember any of that at all. I just remember someone on that forum put a post up, like I think it was a 0.3 update, which is just before it. I think it was the day before it's launching, wasn't it? When they put this, and they had all these patch notes, and I was like, oh, "What's this?" And I think I vaguely remember it, like pictures of No Man's Sky. I can't remember, but in the end, I sort of read through it, and I thought, oh, I'll go and look at some videos. So I looked at some videos, and I turned into one of those people at the end, because I learned like probably the next day after watching a couple of videos that there was this list on Reddit, which I don't think anyone should read, but because there's a bit there's some pretty much like crap in this list on Reddit. But anyway, I won't get into that today. But so I was reading this list, and I was like, oh my god, I've been watching this liar like the last day, and I started getting, and I went on NeoGAF, and I was saying all this crap about, you know, Hello Games and stuff. But it lasted about, I'd say, a day, and then I said, well, I'm still going to buy the game anyway. I still liked it. So after about two, I think it was about 2 weeks after that, there's a few more patches. I thought I'd wait a couple of weeks. There might be, you know, might fix some of the bugs, because there was a lot of crashing at the time, so I didn't want that. So yeah, I bought it 2 weeks later, and I played it. I did play it, but I didn't play it like, obviously I didn't play it like I'm playing it now. I played it like, you know, mostly, and I played for a couple of months, and then everyone started to disappear, you know, at the beginning, and then it got to about November, and everyone was saying, well, this is it, it's over now, they've gone. And then within like a couple of days, I was on the same forum, Metal Gear Solid forum. There was another update to the thread, and it was like, there's this new update coming. It was Foundation.
Mm-hmm.
So I played that, and that was when I played it a bit more than I did before, because it had the survival. Was it survival then? Yeah, survival. But didn't have permadeath, but it had survival. And I think I died that first day. I died about 30 times in a loop, because I couldn't get to my ship. I was constantly going around and around and around, and I was like, this is like, at first I was saying this is broken, but then I did actually quite enjoy it after a while, that I couldn't actually get anywhere. So, you know, so that's
So when
yeah.
you first started playing, what was it that drew you in to No Man's Sky? What was the one thing that really kind of grabbed hold of you and wouldn't let you go? Because
so on that, I remember, it wasn't that much. It wasn't like I could pick a memory, but I just remember walking about a lot. I know people say, oh, walking simulator, but that's what I did. Obviously I flew about a lot. I just liked to walk, I don't know, go around the planets at the start. But then after, I think if I carry on past Foundation, when it got to, no, I think I'd have to say when it got to the point where I was streaming it, that was when I thought, well, it did feel like as I was streaming it, it was getting a bit too easy for when I was playing. I thought I've got to do got to do some sort of different rules here. That's where the rules came in, because I wanted it to be a bit different. But yeah, I don't know.
Now you mentioned
There was a lot of walking. Sorry, there was a lot of walking about. I did like going up mountains and stuff at the start and taking pictures. It wasn't like if I go back to my old save was me going about a couple of 100 light years and just whatever planets there were in that, and I never went any further than that. And now I've gone up to I've gone to different galaxies and back to the edge of the galaxy. I did travel a bit out. So carry on.
Now you mentioned that you started streaming No Man's Sky. Had you streamed anything before that?
Oh, yeah, well, I was going to get to that bit actually, because I was before that. Well, that was the point where when it got to Atlas Rises sort of it got to that, but everyone knows that point after an update where you get like 10 different like patches and you think, oh, there's going to be new stuff, and there was always new stuff in. It wasn't just bug fixes, it was like loads of new stuff. I remember in Atlas Rises there was when ships had mobility, they were great, you could get closer to the ground, and it was your ships were a lot more mobile. I remember that being just like a regular patch, and I was thinking, what's going to be in the next patch? And after that there wasn't a patch for Atlas Rises. There wasn't a patch until next. So as I was waiting for at the next patch, I started playing Fortnite, and I played Fortnite for about 8 months every single day. Every single day, all day and all night I played Fortnite, because it just came out as Atlas Rises, just sort of patches was wrapped up. So I played that, and then halfway through that, so for 4 months of the 8 months I was streaming it on Twitch, but I didn't have a microphone, I didn't have a camera, I wasn't ever like, there wasn't many people about, to be honest, and if they were about, they were giving you abuse because you weren't Ninja or you weren't whoever.
Yeah.
So, and I did a few videos like towards the end of that. I did a few videos where I started using the microphone, but I think I got the microphone because I was watching way more No Man's Sky stuff. So that's how I got into. That's basically where I started streaming, because I wanted to do No Man's Sky stuff in the end.
Now in the No Man's Sky community early on, who was your go-to streamer?
I see. When so I'm going to break that up into, like, when you say streamer, well, the first, obviously you start with Cobra, but when you say streamer, because Cobra, I'm not saying Cobra's not a streamer, but he streamed like every Friday, so everyone went there every Friday. But if I count like an actual streamer that did it like constantly, then you have to go with Semtex. I think everyone has to go with Semtex, because I remember I was listening to Semtex, and that's where I thought I could do. I'm going to do that. That's what I'm going to do.
Awesome.
But then Semtex sort of disappeared, and then who took Semtex's place? There's only one person behind that, and that was Sword. So you'd have to say it came from Cobra. It started with Semtex, and then Sword. There's no way I'd be, I don't know how many subscribers I'm on now, but I wouldn't be anywhere near that now if it wasn't for Sword.
I think there are a lot of people in this community that could say that same thing.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think I know anyone that probably wouldn't. Well, certainly in the top, 3 would be Sword, wouldn't it? I don't think that there's anybody that would. I was there though. I was there when Sword was sort of. I started out, and Sword and Semtex were still going, and then they sort of slowed down a bit. Then Sword just sort of, you tell yourself, he sort of just stopped for a bit, and he wasn't on for a long time. And in that time, I was sort of still going, and then I just And then I remember him just coming back one day, and he was doing it every single, we know the schedule now, every Wednesday, every Friday, Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah.
That's the Sword's day, so, and luckily I don't have to compete with him. Because I couldn't, I don't think.
Yeah, I was gonna say we definitely couldn't compete with him.
The only time I competed, I didn't actually compete, is when I actually streamed with him. They were, a couple of times when he was on vacation.
Ah.
And to wrap it all up a bit, when I was playing Apex Legends, Semtex was playing Apex Legends, and we had a few games playing that, so it's sort of we come full circle a little bit on that.
Let's see what. Ah, okay. We actually we temporarily lost Big Poppa T-Mo. Wondered why I hadn't heard anything out of him. So let's see. Now, what would be your favorite feature of No Man's Sky?
Yeah, that was the question I was thinking. I don't know. That was the one that, like, when you asked me what did I do, I think a lot of people get asked what do you do, and you sort of, I don't know. I honestly just maybe it's just like the grind. I don't know.
Well, like I said, I mean this game really is all about the grind.
Yeah, it just sounds weird that you say you enjoy the grind because it's not exactly. I don't know, because there's a lot of games where that's what people do. Like, people do play, like, going back to Fortnite. Like, people play Fortnite just to, like, get achievements, and they don't. It's not necessarily playing the game. They just want to actually do something. Like, I've played games where I just wanted to get trophies or something like that, but
yeah, no, I get it.
I know I have as a feature, because I know you put feature as the question, but as a, I don't know, I can't say what I want to do because that's a secret. That's giving away what I'm going to do in, like, future stuff. But but if I was to say one that recently, then it would have to be building, because God, I would just be doing something like this. I'd be doing permadeath or messing about. But when the building come, that's when I thought I've got no time to do anything else now. Well, he's back now.
I'm back now. I apologize about that. I had to take a very important phone call.
Oh, no worries.
Real life and adulting sucks.
Yep. So we've got Deavante on in the stream. He's passing out Oreos for everybody.
Oh, where are mine? I suppose I didn't share my biscuits, so I don't get any.
Nope.
You can have some too. We'll share. We'll share.
Yeah. Well, right before we brought you on, I had T-Mo come over and check your stream there, and he said you were eating all the cookies.
Oh yeah. It says that's the last thing I've got. Eating all my cookies. I'm sure my chat's broke, but I don't know.
We've actually been having some trouble with YouTube today too. So
I don't know.
We
Maybe
got
just everyone's listening and they've shut up.
yeah.
It's always nice when everybody listens, but it always makes me nervous.
Yeah.
So, I actually wanted to ask you a couple questions about streaming, because as you guys were touching on Sword and everything, and Semtex, and how you got to where you are now, and how it's very hard for aspiring streamers, particularly with No Man's Sky content, to find a niche to fit in, because we have, Zane's got a set schedule that everybody watches Zane's streams. Sword's got his schedule and everybody watches his streams. Where do you think you fit in the future moving forward? Because your channel's growing, your stream's growing. I watch you all the time. I might be lurking in the background, but every time I get the notifications that you're up, I've got your stream going, and every once in a while I'll jump in and chat. But where would you like to go with your stream?
I don't know. I honestly, the only like strategy that I've got is to just that when I can stream, I will stream. You know, it will be at a certain time of the day. It has to be, you know. But that's it. There's no other. If I want to play a game, then I'm going to play. You know, like on Monday, pretty much yesterday, I'll game or because I wanted to, but then I thought I want to do this today. I've got an idea of what to do. So you know, that's it. I think that's the only strategy you can have. I often sometimes I speak to sometimes he's in the chat, Alpha Pixus, and I know he struggles with this. You know, I don't know if it's the time slot, because when we're on, he's from Ireland and I'm, you know, we're in the same time zone, so we're pretty much on, like, say 1 o'clock in the afternoon here, which is early morning to like many people, because there's a lot of people from America that watch, you know, streams. That's why you get I get it's amazing how many people from Australia that watch the stream. I've got, like, I don't know if Mick's about, you know, I don't know if my chat's even working, but you know, I've got Mick, you've got Caroline Kelly, you've got Lava. There's a lot of people that are going, either waking up or going to bed, and then anybody in between.
Yeah, because we have a
shot.
5-hour time difference between us and you, or
Yeah.
we're 5 hours behind you.
Yeah.
But I know there's also between us and most of Australia, we're 15 hours, so that puts you 20 hours of difference.
And then if you're the other side of America, then it's another 3 hours. So, you know, what would it be now? It would be 12. It would be.
Now almost.
There it's
9:30 in the morning.
there it's.
Goes, yeah.
There, so I mean, there it's noon for you and 9 in the morning. So it is, as Sword was saying, that is probably the biggest grind, is to you've got people waking up, you've got people going to work just as you're doing what you're doing, so you've got to have you cannot, there's no way you can do it without the lurkers. It's impossible. I mean, Sword is like the ultimate lurker.
Yeah.
He pops up in chat at some of the strangest times where you didn't realize, like, he was watching.
Yeah. He's got a Bluetooth headset, like, I think implanted somewhere, because that's the only way you could do it.
That, and I think he's constantly watching 5 or 6 streams at a time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I do. I used to say at work, before I had the PC and before I had OBS and everything, I just used to hit the broadcast button. That's the only thing I could do. I'd wake up at whatever time I'd get on. I don't think there's anything else anyone could do about it, unless, you know, you can do your tags and you can try and get your, you know, I forgot what the lettering is now, but
the cards and everything else like that.
Get your algorithm working better, but other than that, you can't really. And I've done that, like, the end of the year. I've done it throughout the year, all the tags and stuff like that. But I did start, like, this time. I've written it all out. I've got, like, many different, like, combinations of what tags you should have. I was talking to Hawks Gaming about, you know, can I do this? Can I do that? Will it make the channel tank, or, you know? But it seems to have helped at the moment. Even if no one's speaking, I think it's broken. If everyone's speaking, if everyone's there and they're saying we can hear you, I'm sorry, something's gone wrong somewhere. Unless they're just quiet. There has been many times. Sorry, I'm waiting for the mic then. So there has been many times where I have just sat for a long time, especially at the beginning.
Now, sometimes you actually have to call people out and get them to start talking in chat.
Sometimes it's better, because, I mean, when you're doing something that, like, as boring as this, sometimes like I'm doing now, you know, what can anyone say? you just carry on. You just got to carry on.
Now, to
Is it-
ask you
I'm sorry.
another strange question about streaming, do you find yourself out and about in the real world when you're not streaming, talking to yourself a lot like you are?
No. No. Do you?
All right, so it's yes, I do actually. I narrate a lot of my daily activities just to kind of practice for streaming, and it's kind of funny because I have an 8-year-old son who watches a lot of YouTube videos. He focuses mainly on videos about Minecraft, but he actually pointed out the other day that I was narrating what I was doing. I think we were building Legos together, and he's like, "Dad, are you doing a Lego video right now?" And I was like, "No, why?" He's like, "'Cause you're talking like you are."
I think I'm the absolute opposite of that. I don't know if everyone must know law of evolution. He doesn't really do much anymore, but he was the very first person. He's the first person to watch the first video, the first 2 videos I make, and he's the very first person to go into my stream. And he used to, and I think that the one thing I can remember him telling me is just keep speaking, no matter who is like there. And so I thought, well, okay, then I'll just keep speaking about whatever I'm doing, whatever I'm saying. If I've just jumped off the balcony now, I'm going to go back up the stairs. You know, I'm going to narrate everything I'm going to do. So basically, it's his fault, I think, because I didn't stop for like, and I was thinking about it last night. I was thinking about the dates. I was thinking ages just to like try and speak like normally. If you see any of my tutorial videos where some of those have taken me like about 4 hours because I'd be speaking. Some of my videos I've tried to do it where I think, all right, I'm streaming now, speak like, you know, it's the only way I can do it mentally. I can't just do a voiceover sort of thing. I'm trying to, you know, but I don't know. It's actually amazing that I ever did this in the first place. So it's not. It was never something I thought I'd ever do. Like, mean speaking to anybody, let alone it being broadcast. And I can't see my face at the moment, but it's there.
Yeah,
I'm walking up and down. All I'm doing is walking up and down about like the handrails in the space station at the moment. There's 7 people watching, so you know they can hear.
They're probably waiting for you to actually do something in game other than walk on that ramp.
By the way,
All right, so I'm sitting here watching your stream, and I just noticed that you get the same visual glitch from the personal refiner that I get.
is it still on? I forgot. That's because that red bit, when it goes red, I can't see it now. I've lost it now. Oh, there it is. There. It's because when it goes red, it's run out of juice, and I haven't got any now. I have to buy some oxygen.
When I first brought that up, everybody seemed to think I was crazy because they weren't getting that visual glitch either. But it's good to see that somebody else has it.
I've made a massive error there by speaking and not thinking about it. I haven't got any carbon to fill it back up with, so I'm not going to be going very far now. Because I can't do it. I need to. Hold on. Here's a tip for you. If I find a plant somewhere, come on, there must be some carbon somewhere. Come on. Hey, I can't buy carbon, can I?
No.
Oh, hold on. Yay! There's a plant. I've got some carbon. I've not run out of anything. The whole challenge is not to leave this space station, or you know, not to go down to the ground. To make some money. So if I run out of carbon, then I can't do anything about that. I really do need to like go and buy some oxygen to make the carbon now.
I was going to say,
you should be able to get some oxygen in there.
but
I'm screwed.
the problem with getting the oxygen for the carbon is if your personal refiner is out of carbon, you have no way to refine the oxygen.
Exactly. There you go. I don't want too much oxygen, but I did earlier. I I made a classic error of maths where I was trying to make antimatter. I thought that's the way to do it. Make loads of antimatter, but I forgot that the chromatic metal cost a lot more. You need 25 chromatic metal, and I forgot how much that cost, and I was basically just cutting into my profits completely. So don't do that. And why can't you type in the number? I know that on the list is what's your worst feature. It's probably that.
Yeah.
That is my biggest complaint these days, because we've been doing a lot of 7 days to die streams, and in 7 days you can click on there and type in the number.
Yeah.
I would love to have that feature. So that leads nicely into my next question. With all the changes that we've had to No Man's Sky over the last year and a half, in particular with Next, Beyond, and Synthesis, what changes would you like to see the most? What feature do you want to see come down the pike from Hello Games with the next update, or the update after that?
Well, I want to say like everyone else says variation, but I don't. I think that would be something for like another version, like another generation. I think the most realistic thing that we could possibly get is a space update, some sort of like just something out there, like to go out there. Also, I was watching like videos. There's been a few videos out recently about No Man's Sky, and just have some sort of space, something to do with space, because space that's all it is at the moment. It's just space. It's just asteroids, and you go in the space station, you might get in a fight, and then so I just want something to revolve around space, some sort of, I don't know, maybe find like derelict space stations and you go in and explore that kind of dungeon-y sort of thing. I think that's the thing I most want, but if you could do the other one, that'd be good. I think everyone says variation every single time, but I just got this feeling that it's not going to happen, because it can't happen. There's just not enough power to do it.
Yeah, my personal preference would be that they allow freighter engagements where we could have freighter to freighter combat.
Exactly, so things like that in space, like, yeah. Because earlier, like you see earlier trailers and footage, it's just, you can see like they move about. You can see freighters just sort of moving about. To some extent, I want to see like things like maybe the space station moves, but then apparently people got lost and they could, but you know, I think that would be good. I'm not so sure about if planets started moving. I don't know if that'd be a thing they'd want to do, but there's stuff to move about. More than one space station, for example. Why do we need one that's always, the space station is basically the sun in this game. So why can't we just have more than one space station, not the same space station? The word.
Words hard.
Yep.
We run into that problem all the time. Actually, it brings up a very, very cool point. Since you're saying multiple space stations, I'd actually like to see another faction brought into the game, like a pirate faction.
Ooh.
Where like the pirates could warp in a space station to a system and then start competing with the local economy and basically play off each other.
Well, for that I'd have. If you want to like definitely customize it, making your own space station is something that in space would be. I don't see why they couldn't do that. That seems like even Sean Murray even said that's a good idea when he was asked about it. So, you know, when you go into a space station, it's been the same for I don't know how long. They haven't made it any bigger. I've just watched a ship clip through the top of this, you know, the roof. Why can't you make them a bit bigger? You know, stuff like that. It does feel there's a lot of stuff from patch notes from like Beyond and Synthesis and the ones in between where it just looks like everything points towards something to do with space. You know, the emergency warp, which, you know, it's fine if you want to use it, but you don't really need to use an emergency warp. You can I mean, now you can pulse away where you couldn't. If someone was about to attack you, you couldn't pulse away. Now you can, but for what reason, I don't know, because there's not many going to attack you.
Yeah,
More
Dave,
space.
I just said that we need a galactic map update for search. I would totally agree. The galactic map is seriously lacking in its ability to search on a lot of different things.
Well, even the distance to your waypoint.
Oh, the waypoint, yeah, just doesn't. When last year when J Spot wanted to get to the Cult of the Atlas, and he's got like vision problems, as people probably know, and so he couldn't see where, so I had to guide him, but I was putting down markers for myself, and even I couldn't, like, you'd have to go, like, I'll go on the Pilgrim path app, and just, you're 900 light years away, but you don't know, you put a marker down somewhere, and you could be in the right place, you just don't know, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like the game doesn't have enough memory to remember that 3,000 light years in front of you. No, it's even more than that, because if you can go 100,000 light years in front of you, place a marker, and it will sort of give you the rough direction. That's another thing. Have an actual straight line to a point, because when I was doing that, getting into the Cult of the Atlas, these things would just turn off like to the left, and you carry on that way, and when you as you got to that side of the galaxy, it would then veer off to the right again. You could have gone in a straight line the whole way,
Yeah, I've often.
You can't have a straight line.
Yeah, I've wondered about that myself. Why it routes you up and down and left and right.
It's what the game thinks is that direction. It's like you're going to take these stars to go in a straight line, but you're not. You're going to go off on a triangle and then come back on. You're going to have to recalculate it yourself later, because you're going the wrong direction.
Yeah.
I mean, it's funny, but I kind of think Sean Murray would have likes that kind of the Pilgrim, like Black Hole Suns and stuff like that. That we could do it ourselves, but they don't help you out when you want to just go in a straight line. I'd be all for stuff like that, if stuff that we do.
Yeah, I honestly think that they take a lot of their cues from other games.
Yeah.
Now, I come from a background of playing like World of Warcraft and EVE Online, and I know that when you look at EVE in particular, because it's another space-based, player-driven game where the entire economy is based off of who's playing and a very small dedicated base, I see a lot of the updates that they've done and a lot of the updates that I think are in the pike coming from inspiration like that. But I know they need to keep their own pulse on things, make sure that it's specifically No Man's Sky, Hello Games. But I think they've learned from some of the mistakes from other games. The straight line, yeah, that can definitely be annoying at times. I see the reasoning behind why you don't have direct straight lines where you're traveling through established star systems and such. And we also don't know what's in some of these spaces between. There might be a nebula there that you just can't fly through. It'll mess with your faster than light drives or whatever, your hyperdrives.
Yeah.
I'm not going to get into the whole physics of things because I'm not that smart. I'm just a gamer. I'm a guy that likes to play space games and the like. So yeah, but I'm actually I'm very impressed. When I first started, I started a little over a year ago. I started with Next. And I got very fortunate where I came across the lack of the tutorial, basically, that the game it doesn't totally drop you right in there, but it kind of, the game's trying to kill you right off the bat. And if you understand that everything about this game is trying to kill you,
Well,
it makes a lot more sense. But I was having a hard time learning how to play the game because I was coming from EVE, which is very technical, high learning curve, but doesn't have the on-the-ground interactions. There's no planet-side aspect of Eve really, and getting into that, I was very confused with it. So I had started looking on YouTube for videos, and I came across a couple content producers that made videos. I came across Hawks Gaming, and I came across Praise, and I came across Thranxus, and then I came across Zane, which kind of led to where I am now, because by running into Zane, I ran into everybody else, and I was fortunate enough to meet Sword and KJ early on. And then, I got super involved with the game and got burnt out very quickly because I was doing the same thing over and over again. I wasn't enjoying the game after about 6 months because I was building bases for the UAS, and I was going around searching systems for just other people, and I realized I wasn't playing for myself. So I took a break, and then coming back, was very fortunate to run into some of the same people again. Sword and KJ both remembered exactly who I was, and the community just kind of welcomed me right back in there. So it's very heartening that we have such a dedicated group of people, but we all have different ways of playing this game, and it all means something different for us. So I guess the big thing is, we've got to make sure that we all remember this is a game. We're here to have fun. And unfortunately, we're living in Sean Murray's world.
Yeah.
He has a vision for what he wants us to do, and it might not be exactly what we want. But I do like the fact that it seems like Hello Games listens to their player base. That a lot of the changes that they made, particularly with Beyond and Synthesis, were direct correlations to things that players were saying we needed.
Well, Synthesis just, well, it was. I'd say, I don't know if most people think this, but I'd say that Synthesis was more the update than Beyond was the update. It was, well, if you wanted VR, then Beyond was the update, but Synthesis just had so many, like, we could probably sitting here now, in a space station because there's no point. If I hadn't got the money, I wouldn't have been able to do anything. So they added so much more to the I want to say the single player game, but it does go both ways, I think.
Now we're coming up towards the end of the show here. I want to ask you one more question. Do you have any advice for the new content creators? The guys that just want to, and girls that want to get into streaming, and not just No Man's Sky, but just streaming in general.
Well, I think it's what I said earlier. I think you just, when you can, if you can, just stream the game you want to play. That's, I don't know if there's any other way anyone can put it. Don't play a game because you think, oh, people might want to watch that, because they're going to know instantly that you don't want to play that game. It's simple as that. If I did like Fortnite, but if I was to play Fortnite now, just because I thought, well, people are going to watch me, then you're doing it the wrong way around. If I want to play, for example, I could easily play FIFA over Pro Evolution Soccer, but because I don't like FIFA, I wouldn't just play FIFA just because there's a massive player base there to watch me. I just don't play games you don't want to play, and play games as simple as that. Play games you want to play, and do it as much as you possibly can, and that's about it. Do your tags.
Do your tags.
If you're
Search engine optimization is your friend.
If you're
Watch
on
Hawks
Twitch,
Gaming's video.
yeah, if you're on Twitch, just hit the button.
All right, and I kind of lied to you because there was another question.
I was going to say there was one more important question in there that has to be asked.
Well, that makes two, but we'll end on the one you're talking about. What I want to know is something you alluded to earlier. I know you have some super secret projects going on, but is there anything you have coming up that you can discuss?
Well, everyone knows that I'm going to at some point build Starbug. Everyone's seen me doing it, so that's not really a secret. That's just whenever I make Starbug, I make Starbug. It's going to happen.
Now,
I am making. Well, I can tell you what I'm making. I'm just not going to tell you what it is. I'm building. I've been building it for I don't know how long. See, that's when I say I can't believe it's been 2 years, because I remember not last November, the November before that, me talking about I'm going to have a week off to build the Cola Hub building, which I still haven't done, and it's well over a year later. But I am doing that like at night just to get it done. So the Cola Hub will be the main building will be complete. Then I will name. I must have about over 50 systems that I've found within that region that are like higher cost. That I'm going to basically everything's going to be named after. It goes back to what we're speaking about in the community. Everything's going to be named after people from the community that I've met, or people, you know. That's the main thing I'm doing. And then there's one after that, and then no one's knowing about that. I'm not going to tell everyone.
you're not gonna drop the secret to our millions of viewers.
And then I've got like I have got other builds in mind, but I'm not going to even think about making them yet, because I've got to finish the other two first. The one I am doing is, and going back to Metal Gear Solid again, is in not this save. Is it this save? No, it's the other save. My main permadeath save is. I'm going to build, if anyone's played Metal Gear Solid 2, they know the big shell. You've seen the big shell. It's probably easy to make in this game, because it's like hexagons. It's like 6 hexagons put together. Basically, I'm going to build that. I'm going to find some like a watery planet and just build. And it helps because it will be over water. So if I fall off in permadeath, I'm going to be safe.
Yeah.
Hopefully, there's no dangerous fish about. Yeah, I'm going to build that building pretty much as soon. I'll leave me the 2 systems in permadeath. I'll do the thing I do where I have like I'm doing now. I've got nothing in my inventory. I get the most minimal amount in my inventory and build up a base from there. I quite like doing that. I did a whole video about it once. I did a video about a year ago where I was stuck on a planet building stuff, making refining stuff, and then making refiners out of that stuff, and then but I never actually finished this tutorial, so I'm going to do it again. But in HD, more HD on stream.
Now before I let Big Poppa T-Mo ask the last question, is there any other way that people can follow you, such as Twitter, Facebook?
Yeah, I think it's all in my description. I think if you want to follow me, everything's just Ballisticola, if you can spell it correctly.
I'm guilty. Yeah, I'm guilty of that.
Everyone spells it, but I've never seen anyone miss a T out before. It's either they put an I somewhere with an A where there's an I. It's ballistic, and then I've had a couple of people think that, obviously they can't think it now, that when I was on Metal Gear Solid that I was obviously a woman, that I was this crazy like woman called Ola. Ballistic. It's Ballisticola. It's 2 words put together, but I don't have the other C. Everything's Ballisticola. It's Mixer, Twitch, Twitter. I think that's it. I don't do Facebook. I don't do. I'm on Reddit, but I don't really use Reddit that much. We'll post the occasional like tutorial on Reddit, but yeah, mostly Twitter and Discord. You go to my I don't think I've got it in the description of my. Actually, let me check. My Discord will be in the description of every video I make. So,
all right, and
I've also dropped your link to Discord and your YouTube on ours.
Channel. I'll just send it to the description. Got it. Yeah. I know it hasn't got the it's got my Twitter and in the description and my YouTube, but it hasn't got the Discord. But the Discord's in every time I post a video, so it's always at the bottom.
All right.
Apparently we have all sorts of YouTube issues going on between both the streams right now.
Yeah.
So apologies everybody for technical difficulties on the video side. It's not our fault. Blame the YouTubes.
Yeah, blame the YouTubes. Now, real quick, I do want to say hello to Devontae and Craft Brew and Kirby. Welcome to the stream, guys. I know we haven't really interacted with chat like we normally do, because that's because we wanted to bring you the life and times of Ballisticola.
Oh, you haven't got the life and time. Seriously, I went to bed last night and I was thinking I could go back to gaming from like 1994 and go forward like every 6 years, because every 6 years something happens. So I'm not going to go through it now.
Well, see, now I know you're lying, because you said you went to bed. You don't sleep.
Yeah.
I did go to I was in bed and I was awake until about 5
Okay,
o'clock.
that makes more sense. There we
It was
go.
like, don't have. Here's a tip for you: don't have a chili con carne with extra spicy rice. That'll keep you awake all night.
That'll get you.
That'll get you.
It clear if you won't get a cold though, because I've had a couple of colds lately. And it's not a good thing to have. I was actually listening to a stream back yesterday, and it was just like it sounded like I was in a bloody tunnel or something.
All right, so I have one last question for you, and this is going to sound kind of strange to our viewers.
Yes, it's going to sound.
But it's definitely
all
coming.
true.
So
It's all true.
we need to know. We've got one pressing question for you. That if you had a third nipple, what would you name it?
That's a good question. I thought it was going to be embarrassing. I don't know.
You would actually name it? I don't know. It's an odd name for a third nipple.
Well, if I had another two, I'd call them Ballistic and Cola.
It just kind of leaves out the third one, though. Oh.
Yeah, well, the third one's Ballistic, and if I had two extra ones, you won't name your actual nipples. They're your actual nipples. Do you have names for do you have names for your two nipples then?
I do.
Go on then.
No, this is not you interviewing us.
I think
You'll
it is
have
now.
to do your own stream where you're interviewing us on your channel. And then you can ask me what the name of my nipples are. There you go, guys. Future content coming your way. Find out what Big Poppa T-Mo's nipples are named.
Stay tuned.
Well, allow me to thank you for swinging by. We definitely appreciate it. And if you guys in our stream have not, make sure you go check out Ballisticola's stream. Check out his Discord. Join the Cola Nation.
Cola Collective, as it's called.
Cola Collective, as it's actually called. There you go. He's got our proper name for.
It's
for
got a
his
C
stuff.
in it. That's why.
It's got a C in it.
It's got a C in it, and I looked through like all the net. I thought, there you go. I think I put group into thesaurus or something. Oh, collective. I'll have that. And because Cobra's got Cobra TV, I've got Radio Cola. Is it Radio Cola or Cola Radio? I don't know. It's one of them. There's me a little my Discord chat, which I've never used.
Excuse me. Yes, let's give Ballisticola a big thanks for coming on the show and dropping some knowledge on us. We appreciate it.
A bit too much knowledge, I think, in some places.
Oh no, our millions of viewers wanted to know.
One day we'll have millions of viewers.
Well, if we leave the video up on YouTube for, a couple hundred years, we'll get 1 million views.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah.
That means I'll have That means I have some streams with 1 million views where people, well, I've just been like talking utter rubbish.
Yep.
It always seems strange to me that people sit there and watch, like the Insomnia stream that I had the other day. That actually got like 50 views within 2 hours of me posting it, and I was like, there are 3 people watching, and then 47 others jumped in there
Or
and listened to my rantings of Insomnia. You know, that was crazy.
before Beyond, where before like in Next, I did this challenge where I was like, I went to this system, and I drove a Nomad around a moon. It took me like an hour and a half. It was quite easy. Then the next planet I went to was this like activated like cadmium sort of like storms, like it was freezing cold, and then it was stormy, then it was hot, and it was all water, and then I swam around the entire planet. Like, it took me quite a long time, and I had to finish it just before Beyond, just in case they changed the planets, because I didn't know what was going to happen. And I had this stream that was like about 2 in the morning for me. I didn't have a mic on, I never had the camera on, and I must have had 100 views or something, just for someone swimming across a planet. It was a bit crazy that people would watch that. Although I was doing it, so it can't be that crazy. It's more crazy to do it than watch it, because at least you can
I
see
don't know.
someone
I'd have
die.
to say it's more crazy to watch somebody do that than to do it yourself.
At least you can see someone die, though, can't you? Drowning.
Yeah.
So I didn't. I stayed on top of the water. I just kept going.
Doggy paddled around the entire planet.
And I left base markers around, and when I left, just to see the ring going around the planet. It didn't quite work though. I think there's a glitch with that, but you could see some sort of trail.
All right. Well, thanks again for coming on, buddy.
It's been my pleasure.
We'll have to do this again sometime. Just get together and hang out.
Yeah, just come. I'm not. You can just jump into whatever chat you want, because I'll be on all of them.
All right, man. Well, thanks a lot, and have yourself a great evening.
Yeah, let's try and make some money today. Then I've got an hour left, I think.
Oh, there you go.
Right on, right on.
Get up to 10 million. I'll be happy.
All right.
Okay.
All right, guys. That's gonna do it for today's episode of the Mid-Lunch Crisis. I'm Fear the Reaper,
I'm Big Poppa T-Mo.
and until next time, space the Gek.
Space the Gecko 7, Captain Bob.